Children, today we are going to start the 6th chapter from our science book, that is, changes around us. In our daily life, you can observe many changes that are going around you. Some of these changes are: we can make paneer from milk, we can have omelette from egg, growth of our nails and hairs, wet clothes become dry clothes. We also bake roti from dough, grains to flour, water, it will form the vapor, and of course from a piece of paper we can make aeroplane. So these are some changes that are going around us. Now let us discuss types of changes. Some common changes are: there can be slow and fast changes, periodic and non-periodic changes, reversible and irreversible changes, and of course, physical and chemical changes. In this chapter, we are going to discuss about all of these changes. First of all, let us discuss about the slow changes. These are the kinds of changes that will happen over a period of time, slowly. For instance, a boy become a man is an example of this, as it happens over the years. Next is fast change. As the name suggests, these changes occur sooner. For instance, a batter turning into pudding. It will take hardly a few minutes for a liquid batter to turn into pudding, when we will bake it. This chapter is all about the changes around us. And there are mainly two types of changes, reversible and irreversible changes. Let us understand these processes by few examples. The ice cream is melting and it's forming the liquid ice cream. The chocolate is melting and it is forming the liquid chocolate. You can freeze back the melted ice cream and the melted chocolate back to its original state. But if you will cook an egg, can you reverse it back? No, you cannot. So, some changes are reversible and some changes are irreversible. Rusting of iron and burning of wood are some examples of irreversible changes, cause we cannot get back the original state of the material. So, what is exactly reversible and irreversible changes? A change can be explained on physical grounds. Changes are very random and uncertain phenomena. Changes can be for good or worse depending on your view. As we mentioned above, melting of ice, cooking of food are all changes that happen around us. In some cases, we find that the original substance can be recovered back, while in some other changes, you can never go back to obtaining the original substance, like the rusting of iron, etc. And what is the reversible changes? The changes that can be reversed or are temporary conversion are known as reversible changes. The reactions that are reversible are reversible reaction. In such kind of reaction, one substance is modified into another form, but a new compound is not formed. Children, remember this line that in reversible change, a new compound is not formed. That means when a ice cream is melting and when you are freezing it back, you are only getting the same ice cream, not a new substance. We can understand reversible change by a simple example. Like when the ice is melting, it is forming the water that is in liquid phase. But we can also reverse the water and we can freeze the water and we can get the ice. We are not getting any new substances. That means this kind of change is also known as physical change or reversible change. When we heat the water, we will get the water vapor that is in gaseous phase. That is also the physical change because we are not getting any new substance. Also, by the process of condensation, we can again change the gas to the liquid by cooling it. We know that we call it the condensation process. So, we can say that the change of state is physical change and it is also reversible change. When we cut something, tear, crumpling, grind and bend some things, then these kind of changes are known as the physical change because their properties are not changing, only their appearance is changing. And as we know, physical change will be reversible change. Now let's talk about irreversible changes or chemical change. As compared to reversible changes, irreversible changes are permanent change. Remember that. That means these changes cannot be reverted back. Reactants react to form an entirely new compound. So in this case, a new compound will be formed always. Remember that. And of course, these changes cannot be reversed back. Heating something, burning, mixing, powdering are few processes which cause irreversible change. Like when we are baking a dough, when we are cooking an egg, when we are burning a piece of wood, when we are burning a piece of paper, these are some chemical changes in which we are always getting a new substance. For example, when we are burning the paper, we are getting the ash and the smoke. These are new substances. And that is why we call them chemical change or irreversible change, because of from ash and from the smoke we cannot get the paper back. So I hope now you can differentiate between the two type of changes that is happening around us. This is all for today, children. Read this chapter thoroughly and also watch this video. Thank you, children.